Right, welcome to Game 2 of our 2023 playoff replay using On-Base Baseball. My name is Brian Hafferkamp, and I'm the designer and creator of On-Base Baseball. In today's game, we have Game 2 of the NL Wildcard Series, the first Wildcard Series between the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Milwaukee Brewers. So the Brewers took Game 1. That game was actually a 12-3 win for the Brew Crew. They were up 8-0 after the first 3 innings, and pretty much downhill from there. It was Fott who took the loss and really only went 2 1/3 innings, gave up 8 runs, and it was just Arizona was never able to come back from those first 3 innings. So we'll see if they do a little bit better in this game. They've got Zack Gallen on the hill, and he'll be going up against Freddy Peralta for Milwaukee. Peralta, surprisingly, very good year. 345 Sierra, second, or actually tied for the best on the team with Brandon Woodruff. And so, should be a good pitching matchup here, as we have one pitcher coming from the first column and one from the second column. In the last game, Fott was coming, he was pitching out of this third column, which is your most average pitcher, 425 FIP to 475. Let's go through the lineups really quickly, and then we'll get right to the game. It's same lineups as Game 1. Corbin Carroll leading off. I always want to say Starling Marte, but it's Ketel Marte at second base. He's batting second. Tommy Pham is the DH, hitting third. Christian Walker at first is the cleanup man. Moreno at catcher is hitting fifth. Gurriel Jr. in left is going to bat sixth. Alec Thomas is in center field. He's the 7th place hitter. Longoria's at third. He's the 8th place hitter. And Perdomo will be the number 9 hitter. He is hitting, he's playing shortstop. For Milwaukee, it's going to be Christian Yelich in left. Contreras is batting second again at catcher. Santana is at first, switch hitting first baseman. Canna is hitting fourth, which seems odd, but he had 2 home runs in Game 1, so I guess that was the right call for Craig Counsell. Sal Frelick is in center field. He's batting fifth. Willie Adames at short is hitting sixth. Donaldson is at third. He's hitting seventh. Terang at second base is hitting eighth, and the 9th place hitter is Tyrone Taylor, who also had a good game out of the 9 hole. All right, so we're playing with our 2d6 dice. We're always going to read the small number first, and then our d10 is going to give us a hint as to where the ball was hit on the field, whether it was a swinging strike out or a looking strikeout, or who makes the play in the field, those types of things. So, and then also for any bunts or stealing, we'll also use our D10. So, pretty simple game here, and let's get started. It's Corbin Carroll leading off, and followed by Marte and Pham, and they'll be leading off against Freddy Peralta, the home team. The home team pitcher. The pitch and the swing to Carroll. Carroll is going to hit a ground out. That's going to go to the shortstop. Let's see if there's an error on the play. I'm using a D10, so if it ever comes up as a 10 or a 0 on my dice, then I'm going to roll again. So that's going to be a play made by the shortstop, and that'll be out number 1 as Carroll is out on a grounder. Brings up Ketel Marte, 35. And again, Freddy Peralta is pitching out of this column because he has a 345 Sierra. So this is from 0 to 350 is out of this first column. If you're playing with the cards, the results for the pitcher would be, all of these results will be right on the card. So 2 different ways you can play. Some gamers prefer the roster sheets like this. So you just print off the roster sheets and you have all the players. And then some people prefer to have the actual cards. So both ways are given to you whenever you purchase a set, and the game plays the same way either way. It's just as far as the numbers are concerned. It's just the style of gameplay, how you like to personally play, is a little bit different. So a 35 to Ketel Marte is going to be a strikeout, and that's going to be a strikeout looking, because the result on the D10 is, as you can see here, 1 to 6 is strikeout looking, 7 to 9 is, strikeout swinging, 7 to 9 is strikeout looking. And the game engine chart really does kind of lead you along to what some of the special symbols mean, and more of the special plays inside the game. Tommy Pham is up. He's going to fly out, but that's going to be a possibility for an error check. So it's a fly ball to left field, and the error, maybe an error. Let's check the left fielder. So 1 or 2, you should do an error check. The left fielder Yelich is a minus, and so that's going to be one that he can't get to, and that's going to be an E7. So in the first inning, we get an error as Tommy Pham reaches on the Yelich error. Another 25, that's going to be another fly ball, and that's going to have an opportunity for an error. Again, out to Yelich as he runs it down in left center field, and this time he gets there with no problem, and that's going to be the third out of the inning. So Arizona goes down 1, 2, well, not 1, 2, 3, but they go down in the first, and the error does not come back to bite the Brewers. So we head to the the bottom of the first. It's going to be Zack Gallen, who has a 367 Sierra, which puts him in this column, so 350 to 425. And he's a right-handed batter. He can go 25 batters as his stamina. He'll face off against Yelich, Contreras, and Santana. Yesterday there were fireworks in the first inning, and let's see if Gallen can hold them down a little bit better. 56 is going to be a hit by pitch or a walk. So it's a 4, and a 4 is going to be a walk. It's only a hit by pitch if it's a 1. So Christian Yelich at first base. Let's go ahead and try to steal with Yelich. His speed is a 6, so 1 to 6 he's going to be safe, and he gets gunned down at second base. Nice play by Gabby Moreno. And Contreras is going to be up with nobody on now. A 23 is going to be here, so there's nothing there, and a 23 to Wilson Contreras is going to be a ground out with an error check. So that's going to be a ground out to the catcher, and possible error. Let's see, catcher here is a plus, Moreno, so he makes the play, and that's going to be 2-3 on the put out. 1, 2. So the way errors work is, if the player is a plus, then he can only make an error if the roll is a 1 out of 9. If he is a minus defender, then he can make an error on a 1 or a 2. So that's why if it's a 3 through 9, there's no need to even look and see what their error rating is. If you wanted to do more, here, let's see. I'm gonna find a batter. If you wanted to do more with the errors, you could. So this is the defensive column here. So you can see, Jorge Soler, not a great defensive player, is a minus 16. That means he's 16 runs below average as a defender, right? That's what that means. But Colton Wong is a 1.3, positive 1.3, so that means he's 1.3 runs better than the average on defense as far as contributing runs and how they figure contributing runs in sabermetrics. So positive defenders are better, negative defenders are worse, and then 0 is a perfectly average MLB defender. So when the player is in a plus or minus range, that determines how good a defender they are, which means a minus defender is going to make more errors than a plus defender. So that's how that works. If you wanted to do homebrew a better system, a more specific system where maybe you have columns of defenders that are separated out like this, like we have batters and pitchers separated out, you could certainly do that. You could do the same thing with speed. where you have columns laid out. So a player with a 1 to 3 speed, this is a column that we use for stealing or taking extra base. So those numbers are there for you, and they're open for you to homebrew and do some extra things. So I wanted to leave that part open because a lot of guys have a lot of and ladies too have a they have a different conception about how a game should go, or what they like about different games. And so that leaves you the freedom to either bring in some different elements from other games or create your own elements altogether if you're kind of feeling the creative spark, or you can just sort of play it out pretty simply like we have here. But right now we got 2 outs, and it is Santana to the plate, switch hitting first baseman. 45 is going to be a fly ball, and that goes down the right field line, and over to make the play is going to be Carroll at the line, and he makes the catch for out number 3. So Milwaukee goes down in the first. Nice first inning for Zack Gallen, as they get a leadoff walk, but he gets thrown out at second, so nobody on at the end of the inning. It'll be Moreno, Gurriel Jr., and Thomas for the Cardinals. The Diamondbacks. I sat and watched the Diamondbacks highlights and everything. I'm trying to remember them. Okay, Freddy Peralta to the plate, to Moreno. This is going to be a 55. A 55 is going to be a line out or a pop out. Moreno is third column, so it's a line out, or if this was a 6 or higher, it'd be a foul out. But as it is, it's a line out. Let's see where that line drive goes. It goes right back to the pitcher. Gallen gets his glove up, and that's going to be out number 1. Nice play. Freddy Peralta with a nice play. Next up is Gurriel Jr. He's a 4 batting runs, so he's out of this column here. A 26 here in the first column for Peralta is going to be a strikeout. So if there's a result, we just go ahead and take that result, and that's going to be a strikeout looking, as he gets Gurriel in his first at bat. Thomas to the plate. He's a minus 14 batting runs, but good defender and excellent speed. So, but he did have some big timely hits in the postseason. Excuse me. I think going into the World Series, I believe he actually was leading the team in home runs, if I remember seeing that stat correctly. Here he's got a 56. That's going to be good for a strikeout, though. So all that lead up, and he takes the K. 1, 2, 3. Go the Diamondbacks in the top of the second inning, and this is a pattern for them. They have not provided a lot of offense on the tabletop. So we've got Canna, Frelick, and Adames for Milwaukee going against Zack Gallen. This is a 15. A 15 is going to be a blank, and a 15 over here is going to be a base knock, and that goes past the second baseman into right field. And Mark Canna on fire in this wild card replay. 16, that goes to Sal Frelick. Frelick is in the same column, so 16 is a blank here, and 16 is going to be a fly out. That goes to deep left center field, and catching it on the track is the left fielder Gurriel. That's going to allow the runner to advance. So he's going to advance on a fly ball to 7. That's going to be out number 1, but it does get the runner to second base. So it's a fly out with an advance, which means that the runners all advance on the fly ball. If it's a ground out with advance, it's like a little tapper or something like that goes to an infielder, and the only play that they have is to first base, or maybe they make a great play, like a great dive or a sliding play or something like that, and the only play that they have is to first, so everybody moves up on the plate. Uh-oh, this could be trouble. This is Willie Adames with a 34. 34 is going to be a blank off of this column here. 34 for Adames is going to be a double, and that's going to be the first run of the game, as Willie Adames doubles home Mark Canna. And Milwaukee takes the lead 1-0 here in the second inning. A 12 to Donaldson is going to be a ground out, but the runner's going to advance. So this, well, he would have advanced anyway. It's ground out to second base. That's going to be out number 2, and Adames moves up to third on the fielder's choice. It'll be Terang. Let's see if Terang can knock in the run here. It looks like he might. A 34 is going to be a double for Terang. And so 2 doubles in this inning, has netted 2 runs as he drives in Adames from third. And Milwaukee takes a 2-0 lead. Brings up the 9th place hitter, Taylor. A 15 to Taylor is going to be a base hit. And so a 2-out hit is going to score another run as they put up 3, Milwaukee does, here in the second inning. All right, Zack Gallen's got to bear down here. Another 34, this one to Christian Yelich. 34 here is going to be a home run chance. He's a 17, so a home run or it'll be a strikeout if it's an 8 or a 9, so we have to re-roll here to find out. 8 or 9, he strikes out. Otherwise, it's a home run. It's a bomb as Christian Yelich takes Zack Gallen deep, and this one is getting ugly quickly. So he's going to drive in Tyrone Taylor on the home run, a 2-run shot, and we're going to give Zack Gallen a chance to get out of this inning if he can't get the next guy out, though. I don't think we can keep him in. He bears down. He's got a 24. 24 to William Contreras is going to be a strikeout. So he gets Contreras looking for out number 3, but he does give up 5 runs in the inning as Milwaukee has just taken Arizona to task in this one. Scoring 12 runs in the first game. They just put up a 5 spot here in the second of game 2. Peralta is going to go against Longoria, Perdomo, and then back to the top with Carroll. Arizona desperately needs to start putting some offense together. 46 is not going to do it, as that's going to lead to a strikeout, and that's a strikeout swinging for Longoria as Peralta gets him with the nasty change. And it's going to be Perdomo up, switch hitting shortstop. A 66 could be good for him. And that's going to be a single, but it's a long single. You can't see it very well, but there's an asterisk there. He is a 6 on his runs. And so on a long single, it does say if a player's speed value is greater than or equal to 6, then he gets an extra base. So he's actually going to turn that into a double. So Perdomo with the double down the left field line, he is going to be at second base with 1 out. So chance here for the Dbacks if they can get something going. Corbin Carroll, their best player this year at 27 batting runs, or at least their best hitter. A 15 is nothing off of Peralta's side, but for Carroll it's going to be a ground out, and that grounder goes to the shortstop. So the runner's going to hold at second, not going to advance in front of the ball. Or behind the ball, I guess. And so that's going to be 6-3 on the put out as the runner stays at second. Brings up Ketel Marte. Marte needing a big hit. Arizona needing a big hit. And instead they're going to get a fly out. That fly ball is going to go to right field. Let's see if there's an error on the play. There's not. And the right fielder is Tyrone Taylor, and he's going to make the catch for out number 3. So Arizona finally gets something going on the bases, but they just can't get the run home. So we head to the bottom of the third. It is 5-0, and it will be Santana, Canna, and Frelick for Milwaukee. An 11, that's going to be a good result for Gallen as he gets the strikeout. That's going to be a strikeout looking against Santana. Santana now 0 for 2. Canna up, he singled and scored in the last inning. A 12, this time he is going to ground out, and that is going to go to the shortstop. So the shortstop, Perdomo, makes the throw over to first, and looks like Zack Gallen's going to get out of this third inning with not giving up nothing, but we'll see. This could be an error. It's a 23. That's going to be a ground out with an error check. So it's going to be an error check on Gabby Moreno. Moreno is a plus defender, so he's a 2. And just like last time, he makes the play. 2-3 on the put out. And Milwaukee goes 1-2-3 in the third. So we head to the top of the fourth inning. Arizona's down 5-0. To the hometown Brewers. The Brewers, if they win this game, are going to advance on to the winner of Philadelphia and whoever they played. I don't remember. I try not to think too much about the Phillies. The Marlins. That's who they played. All right. So we head to the top of the fourth inning. It'll be Pham, Walker, and Moreno. Up for Arizona, a 55 is going to be a line out, but instead for Tommy Pham, that's going to be a foul out, as this is a 6 or greater. So that foul out goes to right field, and down the right field line, the right fielder is Taylor into foul territory, and he's going to make the catch. That's out number 1. Walker is up. He flied out to left field in his first at bat. 35 is going to get him a strikeout, and he goes down swinging. Nice pitch by Freddy Peralta with the hook. Gets him on the bender breaker. Brings up Gabby Moreno. He lined out right back to the pitchers last time up. This time it would be a little bit more conventional, a ground ball, and that's going to go to the third baseman. Donaldson rips it over to first, and that's going to be another 1-2-3 inning for Freddy Peralta against the Diamondbacks. Arizona, really a whimper here. This is a make or break game for them, and they're just not able to put anything together. Zack Gallen goes back to the mound. He's going to face Adames, Donaldson, and Terang. 15 to Willie Adames is going to be a base knock. So he's now 2 for 2 with a double and a single. And Adames standing at first base. Speed is a 4. That's not quite good enough for me to be taking off. This is going to be a 4-6, just what the doctor ordered. 4-6 is usually a double play. So for Donaldson, that's going to be a double play or a strikeout with the double play opportunity here. We're going to get that. It's a little tapper, and we're going to go 2-6-3, which you don't see every day. But Moreno makes a really nice play out in front of the plate, and they get the double play. Catcher to short first, and there's 2 down in the inning with nobody on. Terang is up a 36 to a -22 is going to be a fly ball that goes out to left center field. Chasing it down in left field is Gurriel, and he makes a nice running play in the gap, and that's going to be it for Milwaukee, as Zack Gallen gets the much needed double play and gets them out of the inning. It'll be Gurriel, Thomas, and Longoria facing off against Peralta in the top of the fifth. The Snakes are down by 5, and still time to chip away at it, but they got to put some hits together here. Let's see. They are facing a tough pitcher. So a 14 to 4 batting runs. It's going to be hit by a pitch or a walk. It's a 1, so he's actually hit by the pitch. And Gurriel's going to be at first with nobody out, and that brings up Alec Thomas to the plate. 36 to Thomas is blank here, and Thomas is a -14, so that's going to be a fly ball down the right field line, and over to make the catch is the right fielder Taylor, and he's going to look back the runner to first. Nobody going there. Longoria up to the plate. A chance to do some damage if he can get an extra base hit, but he can't. 23 is going to be a ground out with an error check. That goes to the second baseman. Let's see. Terang is a plus fielder, one of the reasons that he's in the game, and he is going to make the play. So on a regular ground out with a force out situation, I always take that force out, and so we're going to go 4-6 on that and just take the force out at second. So no double play, but they do get the lead runner, and it's going to be Perdomo to the plate. Perdomo is 1 for 1 with a double, and a 13 is not going to be a double. That's going to be a ground out. And that's a little tapper out in front of the plate. Pouncing on it is Contreras, and he'll make the throw at first. That is out number 3. So a lot of hullabaloo there, but nothing happening for Arizona as they head to the bottom of the 5th inning, down 5-0. Zack Gallen still on the mound. He's got he's at 17 batters. He can go 25, so he's doing okay with his stamina. But this is going to be trouble as Taylor, with a 22, that's going to be a leadoff double off of the pitcher's card. I say pitcher card, but really it's the pitcher's column whenever we're using the roster sheets. So Taylor, with a rip to the right center field gap, he's going to stand up at second base, and Christian Yelich stands in with an opportunity to drive in a run. He homered in his last at bat. We got a 25 to a good batter here is going to be a fly ball to right field. It's a tough play for Carroll, so we're going to do an error check and see if he can make the play. He does not. Carroll's actually a minus defender out in right field, and so he gets there, but it clangs off his glove, and they're going to charge him with an error on that. So he's on via an error. The runner at second had to hold, so he's going to just get a one base advancement. This is going to be another fly ball with a chance for an error. This time it's to left field, and let's see if Gurriel can make the play. He does. So that'll be a fly ball to left, and that's going to be out number 1. Our runner at second or third base is Tyrone Taylor. He's an 8, so we're going to try to tag up and score on that. 1 to 8, he'll be safe at home. He is just inside the tag, and that's going to be another run. 6-0 now. We'll turn that to a sacrifice fly. 6-0. Milwaukee over Arizona. Runner at first base is going to hold. Brings up Santana, switch hitting first baseman. 15 is going to be a single for Santana, and that single is going to push the runner to third with 2 outs. Oh, I'm sorry, just second base. No need to press their luck here, as Santana is at first, Yelich is at second, and there's one already in the inning, 1 out, and a 22 could be the end of Zack Gallen's day. Mark Canha with a 22, that's going to be a double hit to the left center field gap. It's going to one-hop the wall as Canha continues his torrid streak here. And that's going to put runners at second and third. And it will score Christian Yelich, another RBI. And that's going to be it for Zack Gallen. So we got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 runs now. And we got to get somebody else in here. Just horrible pitching for the D-backs. Just, man, really bad. So let me find a pitcher here, and then we'll get him inserted into the game. All right, new pitcher coming into the game is going to be Kevin Ginkel, and that's going to be it for Zack Gallen. 4 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, and obviously 2 of those runs are unearned. 1 walk and 2 Ks. I don't think they could have been out of this inning, but definitely would have been in a little better shape had Carroll not made the error in right field. So it's going to be Sal Frelick to the plate. He's got runners at second and third. Base hit is going to score at least 1. He is going to strike out, though. So the new pitcher is Kevin Ginkel, 3-4-6 Sierra. So he's going to be pitching out of this column here. And a 46 is a blank, but that's usually some sort of strikeout or double play. No double play in order here, so Frelick is going to strike out. And that will be of the swinging variety as he tries to drive the runs in and can't catch up to the Ginkel fastball. It'll be Willy Adames to the plate. Base hit scores 2. 23 is going to be nothing. And for Adames, a 23 is going to be a ground out to the second baseman, but it's a tough play, so let's check the error. And no error. Nice play at second from Ketel Marte. As he slides, pops up, makes the catch, and the throw. Gets the runner at first base, but they do score 2 more. Does Milwaukee, and we head to the top of the 6th inning. Milwaukee's up 7-0 in this one, and Freddy Peralta kind of cruising. Hasn't had a lot of difficulty or traffic on the bases, and he's going to face off against the top of the order, 3rd time through the lineup. Carol Marte and Pham. You could do all kinds of fun stuff. So they have all these stats about 3rd time through the lineup and how difficult that is. And if you wanted to home brew, like you move the pitcher over 1 column for his 3rd time through the lineup, just to sort of simulate the more difficult challenge of going through the lineup each time. That would be totally legit and kind of cool, to go along with the statistics. Or if you know that pitcher particularly has a hard time 3rd time through the lineup, you can move them. So there's lots of like little things that you can do to manipulate and change the percentages in this game. But as it is, I play off of their stamina. So he's at 18 right now. He can go 23 before we have to make any sort of adjustments to his pitching column, which for him would be moving to column number 2. So still a good pitcher, even if he goes past his stamina. A 14 to Corbin Carroll is going to be a base knock, and he hits it right down the left field line. A high chopper, and Corbin Carroll is at first with nobody out. Ketel Marte to the plate, 23. That's going to be a ground out with an error chance, or an error check. So it's a ground out to first base, and there is an error on the play. It's a 1. So that's going to be an E on Santana, E3. And that's going to put runners at first and second. And let's see if Arizona can come back and make things a little bit interesting in this game. Tommy Pham, we got a 33. What is a 33? That's going to be a base knock. So because he's a good pitcher, it keeps him from the home run in this case. So it is going to be a base hit, though. And that's going to move the runners up as he spanks one up the middle. And Carroll's speed is a 9. He's a guarantee from second, so we're going to send him home. He is going to score on the Tommy Pham single, and Arizona is on the board. He's a speed of 9, so he can't be thrown out. So anytime he gets to take an extra base, he's just going to take it. Or anytime he wants to steal, he could just take it. This will be Christian Walker. Walker is a 17, a 24 is nothing, and so that's going to be a double play or a strikeout. We do have a double play situation set up here. You could either go 3rd to first. It's hit to the shortstop. So the only time you go 3rd to first really if it was hit to the 3rd baseman. So here we're going to go 6-4-3 on the double play. So that'll be out number 1. Runner's going to move up on the fielder's choice, and we're going to go 6-4-3. So a little twin killing there, and a runner is at 3rd base now for Kevin Moreno, but 2 outs. 25 is to Moreno, and that will be a fly ball with an error chance. So hit down the line, and coming in hard is the right fielder Taylor. Taylor makes the catch. Running catch, nice play out in short right field, and that gets Peralta out of it. The Diamondbacks do dent the scoreboard, and it's 7-1 now, Milwaukee over Arizona. Kevin Ginkel, we're going to leave him in the game 1 more inning. He faced 2 batters. He can go 4 is his stamina, so it looks like a 9, but it's a 4. He can go 4, and so let's see if he can move his way through the rest of this inning. He faces Donaldson, Terang, and Taylor. Donaldson up first. A 25 is going to be a fly out with an error chance, so that's out to left field. The left fielder is Gurriel Jr. A 0 doesn't mean anything for us, but a 5 does. And so Gurriel chases it down near the wall, and that's going to be out number 1 as he makes a nice play on a Donaldson line drive. Brings up Terang with a double and an RBI in this one. 14 is going to be nothing, and 14 for Terang will be a hit by pitch or a walk. That'll be a walk taken. So Ginkel puts him on first. Terang is a 7. We're going to leave him at first, up by 6 runs. But probably should have sent him to Tyrone Taylor. Bounces into the double play. That's going to be Taylor made 6-4-3. And Perdomo rolls him up. And that is going to get Arizona out of the inning. So Milwaukee doesn't score in the 6th. We head to the top of the 7th inning. It is 7-1 Milwaukee. So we got 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3. He can go 23. So we're going to give him one more inning in this first column. So hanging tough. It's going to be Gurriel Jr., then Thomas, then Longoria. 56 is going to be a K, as Gurriel Jr. strikes out for the second time in this one. Freddy Peralta putting a gem together, giving up only 1 run in the first 6 innings. First 5 innings, or 6 innings, I guess. A little bit of trouble here for Thomas. It's going to be a blank here off of Peralta, but for Thomas, the 34 is going to be a double as he laces that one to left field. And it bounces off the base of the wall, and Thomas cruises into second base. That's his first hit of the game, and that's going to bring up Evan Longoria, and could be back-to-back here. Let's see, Longoria, and it is back-to-back doubles for the Diamondbacks, and that's going to give them their second run. And maybe they can make a little run at it here. Peralta still going strong, no problems here. 7-2 is now our score. We got Perdomo to the plate. Perdomo with a double already in this one. A 35 is going to be a strikeout for Perdomo as he goes down looking with a Freddy Peralta fastball. He didn't think so. Saw him take one of those from one of the Texas pitchers too in the World Series, and clearly a strike. He didn't think so. Down and away. Just couldn't pull the trigger. And 2 down now, and 1 on in scoring position. A base hit would knock 1 in, but Corbin Carroll is going to strike out instead, and so this is another strikeout swing for Freddy Peralta. And if that's his last inning, it was a good one. He did give up 1, and we are at 7-2 as we head into the 7th inning stretch. Let me get a little drink of beverage here. Got my water this morning. I already had my coffee, so I'm on to water right now. So we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Let's get Kevin Ginkel out of the game. He had an admirable inning in 2/3. Let's see who we can bring in. All right, so we bring in Joe Mantiply. I think is how you say it, Mantiply. Left-handed pitcher. He can go 4 batters. He's 406. Sierra. That's going to close the door for Ginkel. Ginkel 1 2/3 came in and stopped the bleeding in the 6th. I'm sorry, in the 5th, and then pitched into the 6th. No runs, no hits, 1 walk and 1 K for the reliever. So nice outing to sort of calm the waters, and we get Joe Mantiply in the game. Hopefully, you can continue that trend and give Arizona a chance to come back in this one. This is going to be a 45 to Christian Yelich. I don't know if that's going to be good, though. 45 normally for a big-time player is going to be a home run, but here it's going to be a base knock, and that's into left center field for Christian Yelich. Second hit of the game for him, and he's standing at first with nobody out. Another 45, this time to Contreras, is going to be the same thing, right? That's going to be a single. So back-to-back hits for the first 2 Milwaukee batters. And let's go ahead and let's try to get Yelich to third base. So 1 to 6. Oh, and he's just in there ahead of the throw as he takes third on the single, and that brings up Carlos Santana. Santana is 1 for 3. Might have another hit here. 14 is going to be a hit by pitch or a walk. That's going to be a hit by pitch. Second time that a player's been hit by a pitch in this game. The other one from this side. So Gurriel got hit. So we're all even now on our hit by pitches. And that's going to load the bases. Brings up Mark Canna. Canna has been the hero of heroes. 45 is going to be a fly ball. That's to short left field. No advancement on the play, as everyone's going to stay put with nobody out. And that's one down now with the bases loaded. They're playing the infield in, so anything hit to a fielder is going to go home to first on the double play. Frelick hits into the double play, looks like, actually. So this is going to be an explicit double play. It is, and like I said, we're going to go home. Actually, we can't go home to first. It's hit to the catcher. So let's go 2-6-3 again, as that's going to be an ending double play. So it's going to be number 2, and we'll say 2-6-3. And just like that, bases loaded. A little dribbler out in front of the plate, and Moreno goes to second base for one and over to first for another. Milwaukee, with all that traffic, doesn't score any runs. Good job by Mantiply, getting himself in trouble and then getting himself out of trouble. And we head to the top of the 8th inning. Freddy Peralta still in the game. He is definitely at 28 batters now. He can go 23, so he's going to be pitching out of this column here. He's got a 7-2 lead, trying to get through this one and sort of stretch it out. Stretch out the outing. A 23 to Marte is going to be a ground out with an error check. So that's a ground out to the shortstop. No error on the play, as Adames makes a really nice play to his left, spins and throws and gets the speedy Marte at first. Brings up Tommy Pham. Pham Bam, 1 for 3 in this one with an RBI. A 24 is not going to get it done. That's going to be a strikeout for Peralta. And we head to the last chance in the 8th inning. It's Christian Walker. Walker is 0 for 3. Had a decent first game, but really tough. A struggle here in the second game. And it's just been a struggle for the offense for Arizona. Just can't get anything going. And the pitching has just let them down, especially in the first few innings, put them behind the 8 ball. A 12 to Christian Walker is going to be a ground out. That's a little tapper down the third base line. Jumping on it is the catcher, Contreras. He fires to first and he gets him. That's a 1-2-3 inning. Nice play from the former Brave, William Contreras. All right, we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and it will be a new pitcher for Arizona. So let's get a new pitcher in there. All right, so entering into the game is going to be Miguel Castro. Leaving the game is Joe Mantiply. 1 inning, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and no Ks. He did hit a batter, but he was helped immensely by the 2-6-3 inning-ending double play. And it's going to be Miguel Castro, 4-1-2 Sierra. He can go 4 batters. He's a right-hander, thin right-hander, throws hard, and he's going to be facing off against Adames, Donaldson, and Turang. So hopefully he can push through this 8th inning and get Arizona to their last at-bat. A 24 is going to be a strikeout of Adames as he goes down swinging for out number 1. Can't catch up to the heat. Donaldson standing in. He is 0 for 3. He will get a strikeout here, so it's back-to-back strikeouts for Castro, the right-hander. And let's see if he can finish off Milwaukee here in the 8th. It's going to be a ground ball. That is a little tapper out in front of the plate. Catchers have been busy in this one, as they've been making tons of plays. 1-2-3 goes Milwaukee. And we head to the top of the 9th inning. Going to leave Freddy Peralta in there. Let's see if he can finish off the complete game. I like pitchers. I like pitchers to complete. And if he gets in any trouble, we'll bring in the closer or something. If they win this game, they're on to the next round, so it's worth it to bring the closer in. Probably going to be a day off, travel day the next day. But Peralta may not need it. He's going to be coming out of this 3rd column. So this is his second inning past his stamina. So that's 27, 8, 9, 30, 31. So definitely clearly past his stamina. 46 is going to be a blank here, and a 46 for Moreno is going to be a strikeout, and yet another strikeout. I don't know how many he's got. We'll tally him up at the end, but whew, Freddy Peralta with a gem. Lourdes Gurriel, he is 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch back in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th inning. A 35 is going to be a strikeout as he goes down looking. And Freddy Peralta strong here in the 8th inning. I'm sorry, the 9th inning, top of the 9th. Uh-oh. A 33. Could be a problem. Nothing here. 33 for... Oh my gosh. The only time a 33 is not good is when you're facing a terrible batter. And that's what's happening. That's going to be a ground ball too short. And the shortstop is Adames. He's over with it. And the play is made. That is out number 3. And Milwaukee is going to win this series as they all throw their hands up in the air, throw their gloves and their hats in the air, and they're hugging each other on the infield. And this one is a 7-2 winner for Milwaukee. I'll go through and tally up everybody's finals, and we'll come back with the final score. All right, coming back with the final in this one, it is Milwaukee with the 7-2 win. Arizona, 2 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. Excuse me, Milwaukee, 7 runs on 11 hits. And I believe they had an error as well. So 1 error. Player of the game, Freddy Peralta, 9 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 11 Ks. And really one of those runs was unearned. So really only 1 earned run. 11 strikeouts and no walks. So put a star there. Just stellar. Freddy Peralta. As he puts away Arizona, we're not going to have a repeat in this one of the actual 2023. So this should be a really interesting replay. One thing about the cards is they don't lie, right? Not that they were lying in real life, but I think that Arizona played out over their skis a little bit for the first 2 or 3 rounds that they were playing, and got hot at the right time. And we'll see how it all plays out. Let's see if the big teams, because the Cards don't take a layoff, right? So you're just playing off of the regular season. How did these players perform during the regular season? Arizona was the last wild card team, I believe, coming in, and they played like it here. They couldn't hit the ball, and they couldn't pitch. So they ran into a good Brewers team. Evenly matched. You know, you can look down through here, and they're basically, you know, they have a lot of the same matchups. I think if I went through here, actually, let me total the batting runs up, and let's see how even they are. So as I total up their batting runs, they actually had the advantage. 51 batting runs in their starting lineup to just 11 batting runs for Milwaukee. The pitching advantage, I mean, almost the same. So Burns pitched out of this column, and Fott pitched out of this third column. Just barely, right? 428. I mean, it was very close to the line. But ultimately, just couldn't hit the ball. So they had the players. Christian Walker, again, just like in real life, just kind of went dormant. Marte was hitting the cover off the ball in real life, but he goes dormant here. Corbin Carroll, largely not a factor. He had 2 hits in the series. Marte had none. Christian Walker with a 3-hit game in the first game, but just nothing here. Tommy Pham, very little. You know, he had 2 hits in the game. So your top 3 hitters only getting a handful of hits is not going to lead to much production. On the other hand, Mark Canha had the game of his life in game 1. He went 2 for 4 in game 2. He had 1 RBI here, and he had 5 RBIs in the first game. So he was just ripping the cover off the ball out of the 4-hole. And they got good pitching, more than good enough from Peralta, but good enough pitching in game 1 from Corbin Burns. And so they had the home field advantage for a reason. I believe they were going to play all 3 in Milwaukee. That was how the first round worked. So home field advantage for Milwaukee, and that was definitely for a reason. And they had the better record. So the better team, looks like, moved on this time. And Arizona had a magical run in real life, but it's not going to happen here in this replay, as Milwaukee takes down Arizona 7-2 in game 2. And they'll go on to face the winner of Philadelphia and the Marlins. So that'll be the next series up. We'll work our way through all of the wild card rounds and then get on to the teams that took some time off. So the Dodgers and the Braves will take on the winner of that wild card. Actually, they'll take on one of those teams. So Milwaukee will be facing off against either Philadelphia or Atlanta. I think the way it played out, and it may just depend on seeding. I'm not sure. I'll have to look it all up. But I don't know. Maybe it's Milwaukee going to Philadelphia. Maybe that's how it's going to work out. I'm not sure how they do moving on to the second round and who you face and that kind of stuff. So I'll have to check that out in the postseason bracket. They don't reseed, so I think it's probably just this winner goes to Philly and the winner of the other series goes to Atlanta. So I think that's how it'll probably be. So Milwaukee, I believe, will be taking on the winner of Philadelphia and Miami. It's no guarantee Philly's going to win that game, but I foresee a Philly win. We'll see, though. We'll play that on the tabletop next. It'll be Philadelphia and Miami, and stay tuned for that. If you like this presentation, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. That's a super easy way to support the game, the channel. Really, what I'm trying to do is show off, honestly, the On Base Baseball 2023 card set. If you want to purchase this set, you can get the cards and you can get the roster sheet sets all in the same purchase. If you go to clarkandaddisongaming.com, clarkandaddisongaming.com, and if you click on baseball up at the top, or if you do a search for On Base Baseball, you'll find it. There's lots of other good stuff on there too. There's some football. There's a new baseball game that I'm hosting for another designer called 1-2-3 Baseball. And that's a kind of a quick play type of game that you can just roll a few times and get through the game pretty quickly. I just released a 2004 and 2016 sets. So calling all Cubs and Red Sox fans. That was what I was thinking. You get the Bloody Sock. You get Chris Bryant and Rizzo and Baez and Contreras. So brother to these Contreras that we watched. You get all the John Lester action that you can handle. Arrieta, Aroldis Chapman. You get the Indians and the Cubs in the World Series. And what a great series that was. I remember just like it was yesterday, sitting and watching all of those games. It was incredible. And, living in Chicago, we thought maybe the world would end after the Cubs won the World Series, but it didn't end. We're all still here. But it was a good time. People still talk about it all the time here in the city. And just a big deal. I always see the little license plate covers with 2016 World Champs and that type of thing. So that was a good season, 2016. A lot as I go through there, I see a lot of the players today who are veterans, and you see where they start. And I always think, they play for them? They started there? Man, there's some teams like Seattle, Arizona. I mean, they had some players, some really solid veteran players. And just to see where guys started and where they are now. And I was looking at Matt Ryan. He played first base and right field. back in the day. Just a first baseman now, but was playing in the outfield too. So a right side defender. Just some really interesting, interesting to see people's progressions and where they started and how they started and where they are now. And then you get some players like Miguel Cabrera, in his prime, and you get a Trout, and you get some of these guys just really like right in the heart of their best years. And so that's, a really cool part about playing some of those older seasons. And then 2004, you're going to get Pedro. Clemens is still balling out, and, you get guys like Biggio and Bagwell and sort of aging stars from those late 90s teams. And then also some rising stars, Teixeira, that sort of A-Rod in the heart. Actually, kind of, I guess, toward the end of his career. You're going to get I think, Jeter at the end of his career. Boston had lost to, I believe they had lost to the Yankees in 2003. And then they had come back, and they won in 2004. Went on to win the World Series that year. Just a great time for folks from the Northeast and from the Boston area to be able to celebrate the breaking of the curse of the Bambino. So those two are released. They're out there. I haven't told anybody about the 2004 season. I just put that out there last night, but you can go check it out. I figured out ways to kind of speed up my card making process, so it's going quite a bit quicker. So I'm not going to sit there and announce every single one. Maybe I'll make some announcements for like groups of seasons that I put out there. Probably do some more in the 90s, some more in the 2000s, some in the 80s. That seems to be where my audience is, and the gamers who like my games. And maybe I'll reach back in the 70s if you have some suggestions. I can do all through history, so it's not really a matter of, I can't do the 60s. But if you have a suggestion on a season that you like to see, a lot of my audience, I think, tends to skew younger, or they at least like more modern seasons. So we'll see how that goes. And I'm happy to make any season. Eventually, I'd like to have, a really good selection of seasons. Maybe 67, 69, those are good years. 70 was a good one with the Orioles. 79, obviously. 75 was classic. That's already out there. I did the 75 season not long ago. I'll also keep up with the modern seasons. So 2023, 2022, those are both out. And just making my way. I don't think I'll do 2020. Just because the numbers are so low, I'd have to change all of the ratings and everything, because batting runs is based off of how many at-bats you get. So all of the ratings are like half of what they would normally be in a regular season. So I don't think I'm going to do 2020 ever. Maybe way in the future or something. But as it is, I'm just going to keep pumping out seasons and go buy them. $20. And you get typically over 1,500, 1,600 individual cards. I mean, I don't know. Is it the best value? Maybe. I have no idea. You get a lot. And then, this is just 2 sheets, 2 pages of batters. These are the 2 pitchers. It's just 2 sheets of pitchers, and this is 2 sheets of batters. So you get lots of players on the roster sheet sets, and it's exactly the same data. I just simply copy it over and put it into a different type of format, and then you can play with the game engine charts. And the beauty of the game engine chart is you can play with the contextualized game engine chart. If you want them to play like they're in the 50s, there's a 1950s chart that I've created, and you can put modern players playing 1950s sort of numbers. What would a 30 runs player excuse me, what would he do in 1955? That would be kind of fun and a fun thing to do. Not going to do that in this replay as we're playing the modern charts. But or you could bring those guys from the 50s or 60s into the modern era. Play the 1975 World Series with the modern era chart and see, how many home runs Fred Lynn hits, or Jim Rice, or whatever. So be kind of cool to see that sort of thing. How many homers would Johnny Bench hit in 1975, or what would Joe Morgan do in the modern era. So kind of fun to think about. All right, we'll close shop on this one. It is Milwaukee 7-2. They are a series winner. They beat Arizona 2-0 in this one, and they are going to go on to face, I believe, the Dodgers out in LA, yo. And we'll see who gets to play the Braves. It'll be the Phillies and the Marlins next in their wild card series. I'll try to release one of these a day. Trying. Don't know if I'll get there, but I'll try to do it. And until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again.